My hair's a mess, I have a head cold, and I'm in a not quite a Hogwarts hoodie. What time is it? Book call time. Yeah, yeah, dancing, dancing. Ooh, yeah. So yeah, I'm a little bit sick. If you can't tell from the dulcet tones of my voice, I have a head cold, and I have a box of tissues hiding just off frame for when. Yeah. But it's nearing the end of the month, and I know I'm not buying any more books, so it's haul time. Ooh. This month, I promised myself I would cut down on the book buying. And by cut down, I mean buy less brand new books, which I did do successfully. I only bought one new release, or any one full price book altogether, actually. So that's pretty good for me. That's like a record. So I started the month Mother's Day at my parents' house, and Mom and I went to the op shop. Yeah, and it was intentionally to buy books because I was feeling the need to do some book shopping, and we had about half an hour to spend, and we rushed in there. I bought about 6 books, I think, and then we rushed back out because we had things to do. And oh man, it was really good. And so I bought however many books I bought. I can't really remember right now. They're not here with me, but we'll spin to that clip in a second. I bought all those for $10. So, holla, yeah, yeah. And we'll cut to the clip. So, the first thing I picked up was The Shadow Maester by Justin Darth. I've met this author before, and I really liked a lot of his more humorous stuff. And then he started getting into real historical, like he did a lot of stuff that were to do with protection of wildlife and things like that in a kind of novel form for younger readers. This is a middle grade, we don't really say that, junior fiction book. I say junior fiction, you probably say middle grade, same thing. And it's about kind of mystical kind of stuff. It's about a girl named Aura who's about almost 15, it says, and this lake that does weird things chases her and stuff. Also, I can tell by the synopsis on the back. It seems really interesting, and I probably won't read it very soon because I have a lot of other books to read, but it was something like at the op shop we went to, everything there was, all their books were half price, and this would have already only been like $2. So it was about $1. So I call that pretty good. So I was going to buy it while it was there. The next book I got was also middle grade, and that is this one called Fly By Night by Frances Hardinge. I think that's how you pronounce it. Sorry if I'm wrong. This is also a middle grade book. Working our way up in age levels of this stack. And its cover's pretty hot. And the art here is by Brett Helquist, who I really, really love. He did the cover art for this book here, which was like my childhood Da Vinci Code, as I think it actually says on the back. It says somewhere, Da Vinci Code for Kids. And this Chasing Vermeer by Billy Balliet. And this has artwork all the way through it, so Brett Helquist is on the cover here, but as you can see, it's the same kind of artwork, and I just really like it. So that makes this cover super pretty. This book is about a world that's kind of, I think, medieval-ish in nature. I think it's got a lot to do with assassins, that kind of stuff. Like if I look at the chapter list, it says, it has a chapter list. Things like A is for arson and B is for blackmail. And I think that's really cool. That already makes it kind of cool. And it's about a girl called Mosca Mai and her pet goose, her goose companion.
as they're in this world. And I'm pretty sure it's one of those novels that shows the value of good books. So one of those books about books, I think. So I'm interested to read this. Again, we'll probably go on the back burner, as will most of these books, but it looks interesting. So I'll get around to it one day. I'll get around to it. The next book I picked up was Everything Beautiful by Simone Howe. I remember seeing this when it came into work, a bookstore worker, a long while ago, a couple of years ago, and I remember going, that looks really cool. It's a contemporary novel, young adult contemporary, but of course I couldn't justify, for some reason I can never justify buying a contemporary novel, perhaps because I just don't see the covers as important to be on my shelf. I don't know, I never feel like they're worth the money, even though I love what's inside them and will spend many days reading contemporary novels from the library because I love them that much. But I just never buy them. They just don't get picked up. They get picked up secondhand or damaged copies when I get them cheap. So this one is damaged. It has a bit of a rip up here, but it's not too bad overall. And this is essentially a contemporary novel about summer camp, friendships, and growing up kind of stuff, the kind of stuff you get in a young adult contemporary novel. I think it's mostly about friendship and stuff, though I'm sure there's some romance in there. There always is, isn't there? Always some romance. So again, this looks really interesting. I remember it catching my eye ages ago, so I'm excited to read that as well. The next book I picked up is also a young adult novel, and is actually 2 young adult novels. 2 sisterhood books in one. Oh yeah. So this is the 3rd and 4th novels in the Sisterhood of the Travelling Pants series by Anne Brashares. I own the first one. I've read the second one, but I don't think I've read the 3rd or the 4th. And I know there is a 5th one and possibly another one that's not directly in the series. I'm not 100% sure. That's what I gathered from Goodreads, but I don't know for sure. This is a bit of love given to it. It has had a bit of wear and love, but it's a good old double, one this way, one that way kind of dealio. So I'm excited for getting a good bargain out of this. I think this was maybe $2.25. I think this was the most expensive book possibly of the day. No, wait, there was one that was $2.50. $2.50 was the most expensive book of the day. So I was pretty happy to get these into my collection for a fraction of the cost it would cost me to get them new. The next book I picked up is Memoirs of a Geisha by Arthur Golden. Yes, Arthur Golden. I'm sure everyone's heard of this book. It's kind of outside my comfort zone. It's not the kind of thing I would normally read, but it interests me a little bit, and it got such good reviews when it first came out and all that kind of stuff, was groundbreaking and all those kind of things, so I feel like I should read it. It's pretty self-explanatory, but it's about by the title, if you didn't already know. Written as a autobiography memoir of a geisha, but it's actually fiction. Really excited to read this. Will still probably take a long time to do so, but it was one of those things that I always went, if I ever get the chance, I should probably read that, so it'll probably get read at some point. And it was cheap. $2 at most. And the final book I picked up, is that the first one or the second one? Yeah, that's the first one. And the last book I picked up is, again, another double. So this is Dissolution by C.J. Sansom and Dark Fire by C.J. Sansom. These two, flip back to the first one, these 2 novels are historical crime novels set in the 1500s, I think, with Oliver Cromwell in England. Is that about right? 1537 England. I like historical, especially if it's historical crime. I think there might be also some fantasy elements in here as well. It's about a lawyer who's sent to investigate some things, some circumstances unknown by Cromwell, because he's a supporter of the reform. There's 5 in this series, as I'm aware of. I'm excited to look into these. Again, I probably won't buy the other 3. I'll probably just borrow them out from the library, but this was probably my most expensive book of the 6 I bought today, and it would have been $2.50. So I call that a pretty good deal, and I wasn't going to turn it down when it just, this design, this really basic design with the intricate little D over here, and on this side, the D again. It's pretty. It's simplistic, but it's pretty, so I like it. So I wasn't going to turn it down when my mum pointed it out and said, "Have a look at that one." I was like, "Yep, I'm sold. I've got it. That's mine." And they were cheap as chips. I got the whole stack, which I will get show you the stack. I got the whole stack, which isn't very big. Why am I struggling? I got the whole stack for $11.75. That's how much I paid for this stack of books, which is pretty good when, even with staff discount at work, getting one book under that price is pretty rare. So I'm gonna enjoy this greatly. It's gonna be my friend. They'll take some time to get around to, but I'm sure I will enjoy every single one of them.
So after I came back, I was still loving the idea of secondhand book shopping for some reason. Just it was really appealing to me. So I convinced my housemate to go with me to the secondhand bookstore. And this isn't an op shop. This is a secondhand bookstore. So these things were a little bit more expensive, but they were cheaper than full price. And I picked up some good finds. They're in pretty good nick, almost perfect. And oh man, I've already read the first one, which is A Monster Calls by Patrick Ness. And just saying, hashtag Reagan made me buy it. Because her talking about this book just, Reagan, why do you talk about books? It ends in sadness for me. So yeah, I picked this up. It's about, it's a middle grade kind of got pictures and also writing novel about a boy who has this monster arrive in his house and who wants to tell him stories in return for a story of his own. And gosh, it was gorgeous. I read this the night I got it, and one sitting of glorious feels, just all the feels. But I'll talk more about this in my wrap-up. The next thing I picked up from the secondhand bookstore, the second and last thing I picked up, was this bad boy, The Old Kingdom Chronicles by Garth Nix, which is a bind-up. Oh, and yeah, man, that's a bind-up of Sabriel, Lirael, and Aborson. I think that's how you pronounce them. This is a middle grade fantasy series, and my best friend Rainey absolutely adores these, so I thought it was my duty as a friend to check them out. And I haven't read this yet. I probably won't read it for a couple of months, but when I could buy 3 novels for like $15, I was sold. This sold me, and sold. And then today I went shopping. I didn't really go shopping. I only had one book in mind. You probably know what that is. I had it pre-ordered, and when they called me at 4 to say it had arrived, it's like 4:30 now. I rushed to go get it, and that is City of Heavenly Fire. Oh yeah, in my hands, in the flesh. Not a hardcover, because we don't do hardcovers in Australia. That's not a thing we do for Cassandra Clare. But nice big, trade papery goodness. Oh man, this looks beautiful. I'm holding myself back. I will force myself to edit this video and finish the book I'm still about 30 pages away from finishing before I start this. But what's that? I won't be studying the next couple of days. Hopefully I get this finished soon so I can actually get back to kind of important exam revision. But I'm scared. I'm scared that people I love are gonna die. Cause yeah, I'm just can't. I'm just scared. I'm scared that I will love it despite people I love dying, which is almost worse, I think. I don't know, I'm apprehensive in a way that I think it's going to be so good that I'm going to be curled up in feels at the end. So, we'll see how this goes. So that's all the books I bought in May. I call that a job well done because I didn't actually buy that much. And I didn't spend that much, even more so. Like, if I had have not gone secondhand shopping, I would have bought like 2 books in the money I got 8. So I'm there. Plus I got so many bind-ups. It was glorious. This was a good buying month. So high five me. Yay. So yeah. Let me know what books you bought this month, if you liked any of the ones, read and liked any of the ones I've got here. Don't spoil me for City of Heavenly Fire. Don't do that. No, I won't spoil anyone else. No one spoil me. Just no. And yeah, I'm gonna go edit this video so I can read it now. And let me know what you think of everything, including that if you stay spoiler free. And thanks, bye!